everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 battle. This is going to be the forces of Chaos and the Beastmen versus a combined army of the Empire on the outskirts of Altdorf. So this is a very kind of thematic battle here. Beastmen and Chaos would team up, right? I mean, they both serve the Dark Gods, but just kind of differently, maybe? I don't know. But for my army here, I brought the infantry part of our army. We have 4 Chaos Marauders being backed up by an Aspiring Champion. You can see on the flanks. Then the core is going to be Chaos Warriors with great weapons to fight against great swords is their purpose. Behind them, we have some Ungor Raiders giving us some archer support being led by Morgor. Then we have a Minotaur with great weapon, 2 Minotaurs with shields, and an Ungor Spearman. Then over here, we have 2 Centaurs with throwing axes. Behind them, we have a Razgor Herd, and then a Giant, and that's going to be the Beastman force behind my infantry corps. And then for the rest of our army, the mobility force here, we have Sartorial with only 2 spells, Plague of Rust and the Searing Doom. That's that bombardment spell. We have 2 normal Chaos Knights, a Chaos Warhound with poison, and then a Shaggoth. And all of these are tools to take out Demigryph Knights. Plague of Rust to assist in lowering their armor, Puppies to poison, and then when the armor is lowered, the Chaos Knights can actually deal a lot of damage. They're not really armor-piercing focused, but if there's not much armor to chew through, then they do a lot better. And then of course Shaggoth because they're just really good. For the Empire army here, we have a lot of infantry. We have a total of, I want to say 7 swords. Well, let's just go down the line. We have 2 swordsmen here, 2 swordsmen here. This is going to be 1 player. 3 halberds in the middle. Behind them, we have Balthasar Gelt, not on a mount, I believe. Yeah, no mounts for him. This player also brought 3 outriders. We also have a light wizard from this player, a Luminarch, 2 crossbows, and then again the 2 great swords back there. Then for the other player, we have 3 Demigryph Knights. 1 of them has a halberd. The other 2 are normal. They are being led by a general of the Empire on a horse. We have 2 great swords. 3 swordsmen. I believe this is their spearmen on the flanks over here, and then they brought a Jade Wizard. So they have a Light Wizard, Jade Wizard, and the Metal Lord with Balthasar Gelt all in one battle, which is a lot of potentially different spells. So, my first priority, seeing a Luminarch and seeing how many kind of big creatures we have, mainly just my big creature. Now the thing is, Sartorial does have magical resistance and missile resistance, so honestly I don't know how much damage a Luminarch would do to Sartorial because of his resistances. I'm not entirely sure. I need to test that out. And it's not going to be tested in this battle, I guess, because spoiler alert, he doesn't actually get hit by the Luminarch. I'm going to tuck him into this forest, and we're going to have the mobility force, go around like this to try and exit behind the Imperial army. Right here, I'm moving my army back, and I was giving a suggestion for my ally to use their Ungor Raiders here to try and keep the Outriders away. So this is exactly what I was doing. I'm like, just kill these Outriders. So you see my army move back, forward, and eventually I'm just going to be like, okay, we're just going to move forward and apply pressure to the Outriders here because the Ungor Raiders just kind of stand still and allow my front line to get shot up. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to march forward. Meanwhile, the War Puppies here, they're going to be my anti-Luminarch force because they are so fast. So they're going to be popping out of the forest here in hopes to try and ambush this Luminarch of Fish. Chaos Knights going to be coming out here as along with the Shaggoth and Sartorial. Again, I'm taking this wide berth because I do not want to get shot by the Luminarch. Notice the Luminarch has not fired at anything because it is obstructed, as most Luminarchs tend to be. You can see the Minotaurs try to get a charge off of the Outriders, but they're too fast, so they're going to fall back. I'm going to hold my charge here because I don't want to outpace these other Chaos Warriors. So we're going to wait for them, and then we're going to start moving up again. Meanwhile, on the left flank, we have those 3 Demigryph Knights kind of posting up as if they're going to charge. Where we also have the 2 Centaurs with throwing axes, which can't do a lot of damage to Demigryph Knights because they are armor piercing. Which I think that's what they're off to do right now. And now here goes the infantry engagement. I am going to get charged here, unfortunately, but I am going to start to get charged off with the rest of my army, assigning charge orders here and here. You can see the Puppies now going out to try and get that Luminarch. Here comes my Shaggoth, who's going to take this path like this over here to try and support a fight against the Demigryph Knights who are not coming in. And then the 2 Chaos Knights are going to just kind of follow the Warhounds in. Because you can see we're kind of flushing the Outriders through their front line over here into the Puppies, so I want to try and take out the Outriders with my mobility force. Sartorial is going to plunge right into the middle of all of these great swords and swordsmen to exude fear, terror, and just do some damage because he's a big damage dealer. Meanwhile, back here, my Chaos Marauders are going to get charged by these Demigryph Knights. Not exactly a fight they can win, but you can see they are kind of holding their own for a little bit at least. You're going to see a lot of Searing Dooms because Balthasar Gelt is also going to be casting those as well on my army as I am on theirs. You can see the 2 Chaos Knights going to get going to get netted for a brief moment in time. More Demigryph Knights coming over here. I'm going to cast a Plague of Rust on this Demigryph Knight because I saw that the Ungor Raiders starting to shoot at it. So I wanted it to get a lot more damage in, and now here goes my Shaggoth to try and support this fight. Meanwhile, in the back, the mobile force has routed the Luminarch, and we're trying to now get on these Outriders. They're all just kind of clumped together. And again, my Chaos Knights are just going to follow the Puppies in. Meanwhile, Sartorial's going to be casting some Searing Dooms over here, doing a lot of good damage to these clumped up Grey Swords. And then we're going to eventually disengage Sartorial and bring him over here to this fight against the Dimmies, which right now is just being held off by my Shaggoth and the 2 Centaurs with throwing axes from my ally. But you can see a regrowth being popped in the Demigryph Knight. Now, regrowth will not bring models back, but it will heal, you know, when models are there, back up to full. Here comes another Searing Doom, this one from Balthasar Geld, who is just kind of sitting right here. Meanwhile, in the back, we have a Chaos Warrior who pierced the lines because these halberds withdrew from the front line, which is the unit I had them attack, so they're just kind of out here. And then back here, we are continuing to chase these Outriders. They're doing one of these because they're trying to run for my puppies, so I'm going to cut them off with the Chaos Knights. And we're just following these Outriders all over the battle. They haven't really been able to shoot so far. Shaggoth doing some decent damage to these Dragon Ogres. You can see Sartorials are going to be coming over here because now my Knights and my Puppies are nearby. So this is when I really want a dedicated cav fight. Is when my Chaos Knights and my Puppies are nearby, even though they're kind of just on that Luminarch. I'm going to disengage them here in a moment. But I'm getting ready for the fight against Demigryph Knights. Meanwhile, on the right side, infantry is holding out pretty well, but we're also supported by the Giant and some Razorgore herds over there, so that is good for us. We have 2 Healthy Minotaurs in the middle right now that are going to be supporting our fight against these crossbows, but they're currently not fighting right now, but hopefully they will here soon. And then over here, my Shaggoth and the Sartorial just assisting against this infantry fight until we can deal with the Demigryph Knights, who are now did a wide arc around here. Now they're going to be charging into my allies Morgor. So this is the time. We're going to charge in with the Chaos Knights. I'm going to be bringing the Puppies over here to get some poison damage. Dragon Ogres over here and Sartorial over here. We're going to cast another Plague of Rust, dropping their armor down to only 65, which is really good for me. Over here on the right side, we're starting to crumble, but again, the Giant and the Razorgore herd are here, so I'm not too worried about it. In the middle, we are still holding strong with those 2 Minotaurs and my infantry as well. And now we are just all about this cav fight over here. You see the General of the Empire fighting against these Minotaurs with shields. Dragon Ogre, Shaggoth, and Sartorial are just doing so much damage to these Demigryph Knights along with our 2 Chaos Knights because, well, one of them, you know, their armor was lowered to 65, so they kind of melted at that point. And then they got affected by Fear and Terror because these are not the Royal Altdorf fights, so they are not immune to psychology. And here we have some more reinforcements with Chaos Spawn coming in to assist us with the 3rd Demigryph Knight unit. And since all of these units were poisoned, Plague of Rust, so much, you know, cav, we're going to well, not finally, but we're going to be able to win the fight against these 3 Demigryph Knights because they weren't really supported by anything else, whereas I was supporting my fight with magic and poison, and we also had, you know, Chaos Spawn. So a lot of factors against those 3 Demigryph Knights that are going to make us win this cav fight pretty handily. They did do some damage to my Chaos Knights, probably to about half health, and my Shaggoth a little bit of damage as well. You see Big Bird is down to half as well. On the right side, the Giant is still holding the right flank along amongst all of these enemy infantry. I'm going to be pulling my, what remains of my infantry over here to support the fight against the middle, which is still kind of raging on strong. I only have an Inspiring Champion over here and some Chaos Warriors, but we still do have these 2 Minotaurs duking it out with some Halberdiers and the Light Wizard, and I believe Balthasar Geld is going to be coming back as well. But I'm going to plug in Sartorial into this fight as well, getting some Searing Doom on those great swords. And now we're on the General of the Empire over here with the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. And now that the cav fight is basically done, we have broken their backs. We're going to send out these Chaos Warriors here and here and just try to rout everything that's coming back. And the Puppies were going to be sent up here. Now, the entire battle, I was fighting from this perspective, and then I saw that, and I was like, wait a minute. And so then you're going to see these Warhounds go, because I realized I did not finish the job. There go the Warhounds, so they're going to be assigning that Luminarch of Fish, because I do not want it firing into anything at this point. And then the Chaos Knights are going to be coming up here and rerouting these swordsmen, and then getting into these crossbows. Giant still holding the right flank all by himself, like a good Giant does, I guess. And then the center is breaking under the weight of the Minotaurs, the Chaos Warriors, Sartorials, Fear and Terror. The Great Swords cannot take all of that, and they are going to rout, and then it's going to signify a chain rout. At the very end, the Puppies managed to get the Luminarch, which was their first target of the battle, and their last target of the battle. So a good game to all involved. That was a fun one. Flushing out those Outriders, and then chasing them around in a complete circle that then looped in onto a cav fight with the Demigryph Knights was really fun. Not planned at all, but that was a lot of fun. So, Sartorial, 59 kills. Very solid legendary lore choice for the Forces of Chaos, especially now that the meta lore has been buffed. Definitely a solid pick. The Marauders did pretty well, supported by the leadership of the Aspiring Champions. They held on for a little bit longer. I don't know what happened to this one. I don't know. 0 kills. We don't talk about that one. The Chaos Warriors did really well. The Chaos Knights did really well. Puppies did like almost MVPs for the Puppies. And then the Shaggoth dealt some damage to the Demigryph Knights. For Epic Rise, 4 kills on Balthasar Geld, probably with spells, maybe in melee. The Swordsmen kind of held their ground a little bit. Halberdiers held a little bit better. Great Swords A little outmatched there in the center, and then you saw what happened to the Outriders and the poor Luminarch of Heesh. Man, Luminarchs, they are a gamble. Not because you have to protect them, but because you have to hope that they can actually fire. For Snorbrad, the Beastman player, 49 kills on Uncle Herd's really good. Minotaurs did pretty good. Giant did amazing, and the Razorgore Herd barely got touched and netted 40 kills, which is really good. And then for Celtic Dragon, which was the General of the Empire, Swordsmen held pretty well. Crossbows did what they could, but they were in melee like rather quick there in the beginning. Demigryph Knights with Halberd, 120 kills is great, and then the other Demigryph Knights still got a decent amount of kills, but ultimately lost in the calf fight. But again, good game to all Epic Rise Celtic and Snorbrad. Hope you enjoyed that one. Let's go watch a cinematic view of this battle. I think Chaos Marauders with the backing of Aspiring Champions is a pretty solid pick against the Empire, by the way. Just because there's a good chance you're going to have them fight something that's not a great sword. I mean, some Empire armies just spam nothing but great swords, but for the most part, you'll fight like Spearmen, usually, and Marauders can do really well against Spearmen. Here's where I'm trying to get these Ungor Raiders to start firing their damn bows. My poor Chaos Warriors getting shot up by these Outriders. Outriders are really cool. I need to bring them. I keep forgetting about them. They have a really fast fire rate. I want to say it's like 6 seconds or something. I guess it's ridiculously fast. I didn't realize they cast, I think that's from Gelt. I think that's like an armor buffing spell. There goes the puppies. Get him! So cool. I can't wait till we have a demon army. But that's not going to be for a couple of years, I think. That's going to be like the last expansion. Get him, puppies! And then we're just going to maneuver around these spearmen and then cut off these Outriders and flush them back towards the front lines. These poor Outriders, man. screen shaking, that's just because of all the big creatures around here. Like, I'm not moving the screen. That's just such a cool effect, I think. I like it. So if you're like, stop jittering the screen like this, I'm like, no, it's not me. It's not me. God, getting hit by just like metal shards from the sky and then a giant bird in your face. What do you do?
For the masters!
Oh, poor Gels.
Name burn!
Farewell, Lumar. Farewell. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. This battle was another fun one, and again, good game to everybody. And I will see you all next time. Take care.